How's it going, everybody? My name's Jason, and this is the Sheepdog Logic channel. And I welcome you to my channel. Welcome you to this video. Um, this is just a informal video. I'm not going to be doing much, just talking about the future. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you know that the future I'm talking about is in regards to my 84 International 9670 cab over. It's got a big cam 3 Cummins motor, 400 horsepower. I forget the torque. I'll look it up, and I know what it is. I just don't remember. Anyway, as some of you know, we're at the point where motor needs. We're thinking about rebuilding the motor. I know this much. I have decided that when the motor gets rebuilt, I'm rebuilding it. That's plain and simple. The question remains, does the motor need to be rebuilt right now? Well, I can't really answer that 100% because it's not a running motor. And so we need to get it running so we can determine if it's a motor that needs to be rebuilt ASAP. So going forward, I want to just do what I had planned in the first place. First thing I got to do is I got to pull the valve covers off. I've got to pull the push rods out of number 5 and 6 and pull the cam followers that I had already started to take out. I got to pull them all the way out and then replace the shim/gasket, put the cam followers back in, put the push rods back in, put everything on top back together, and then do an overhead, then put the starter on, then put the fuel pump on, and we can start it at that point. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So what I started the video today for is to go over steps. I've broken it down into 4 categories because I lose focus. It's hard for me to stay on track. I simply want to focus on one area first and finish that up. Then the next area, finish that up. Then the next area, finish that up. Like I said, I broke it down to 4 areas. The cab being one of them, right? The engine being another. And then I broke the frame into 2 parts. The rear half of the frame, which houses the drive axles, and all the suspension back there, basically from the tranny back, basically. And that cuts the fuel tanks right in half too, because I've already done the rear straps on the fuel tanks, so that's kind of where I draw the line. Right about where the batteries are, right behind the batteries to the rear is the rear half of the frame. And that includes, like I said, the drivetrain, all suspension, the mud flaps, quarter panels, all that. And then there's the front half of the frame, which is the suspension, steering axle, steer axle, shocks, tires, wheels, all that up front. The frame itself, the front strap on the tanks that still needs to be replaced. So there we go. That's the 4 sections that I've broken it down to. Now on the cab, the only thing that needs to be done to the cab are the lights, which include the top lights marker, and then the side lights marker. Some people call them tag lights, but I've always called them marker lights. I don't know why they call them tag lights. Anyway, and the fog lights need to be hooked up. All these lights that I just mentioned need to be hooked up. The top lights, I have those. So I'm going to write down next to them have. I got the lights. The side lights, I have those. And the fog lights, I have those. I need butt connectors, and I have those with shrink wrap. Well, it's not shrink wrap. Well, with shrink. Anyway, I have those. Let's see what else. The cab. Sorry about the camera moving there. That's not good. Hopefully it don't turn out too bad. Also on the cab, that's the outside of the cab. The horns need to be replaced. I do not have those. They're $200, $100 each, thereabouts. So I'll get them shortly. Let's see, that's the outside of the cab. I think that's it. Now the inside of the cab, I need to replace the, so I'll write it over here, outside. And then over here, inside. On the inside, I need to replace the low air warning buzzer. I have to order that yet. And the low air sending unit that's on the floor. Those two things I got to replace. I have also got to replace the tractor trailer air brake valve, the whole thing there. And okay, so tractor / trailer brake valve, and I don't have that yet. I got it. I found it though. It's $165 on eBay. What else did I say? Oh yeah, low air warning buzzer. I don't have that. Low air sending unit. That sends the signal to the buzzer. Okay, so that's the inside. Oh, and I got the alcohol that I forget what isopropyl. It's like for cleaning purposes. It's not for drinking or rubbing alcohol. It's for cleaning electronics. I've got that on the way. It'll be there. I think it got dropped off today. So I need to clean, well, these things. I can show them to you. I got two of them, but I'll just show you one. Right here. These house the gauges. It's weird. 1984, and this is a computer board, basically. A circuitry board. This houses the water temperature, the oil pressure, the voltmeter, the pyrometer, air restriction valve, which this one didn't come with one, and the oil temperature. And then I got the other one over here. I got the front axle temperature, rear axle temperature. Neither one of them work. Trans oil temperature, that don't work either. The fuel gauge, the air yeah, and then the two air gauges. Anyway, so I cleaned this all up with wipes, baby wipes, non-scented baby wipes. And now I need to clean all the metal parts, all the metal with that alcohol, isopropyl alcohol. So that's on the way. So clean up, I need to clean the whole interior. Put dash back together. Oh yeah, I forgot about, I need to replace the passenger side window wiper motor. That's $100 used. Okay, so there's the cab. Oh, and I also need to fix the windshield washer. motor. And I also need to install the work lights on the back. And I have those. Alright, so I need to buy all that. I need to buy the horns. Okay, so that's the cab. So I'll go over it again. On the outside, we got lights. Yet we have to install because I have them all. Top lights, you know, the top marker lights on the top of the cab. The side lights that are already installed, but they need to be wired up. The fog lights are in place, but I need to change them a little bit, and they need to be wired up. In order to wire all them up, I also need to install the work lights, which I have them in the back, but I'm not going to do that until I get a new stack mount. Stack mount? Stack mount for the exhaust stack. I got one on the right side. I'm going to put one on the left side for twin stacks, dual stacks. Anyway, so once I get them up, then I'm going to figure out where I'm going to mount my work lights. So them are going to be later. And I also need to replace the horns. Those I need to order. On the inside, I need the tractor trailer brake valve replaced. Got to order that. Low air warning buzzer. Got to order that. Low air sending unit. Got to order that. Passenger side window wiper motor. I got to order that. And then windshield washer fluid motor. I need to fix that. And then clean the whole interior. And then the cab will be done. So not much to do on the cab. After that's the engine, but we'll go over that last. The rear half of the frame is pretty simple. I need to clean quarter. I forgot how to spell quarter fenders, and I got the not SOS hat, not bro. Gummit. This guy on Facebook called it a SOS pad, but it's not SOS pad. It's steel wool. Yep, 0000 steel wool, the finest steel wool they make. You can clean chrome with that and get the rust off chrome, no problem. So I got that. So I got to clean my quarter fenders of the rust that's on there, and I also got my quarter fender mud flaps. That's going to look good. Okay, and then I need to install rear mud flaps hanger, mud flap hanger, and mud flaps. And I already know the ones I'm going to go with. I just got to order them, so I don't have those. I got the quarter fender mud flaps. And I got the steel wool. Okay, so that's the rear half. Oh, and I'm also going to buy, that's kind of goes against what I've said in the past, but I just forgot about it. It's a work truck. I've mentioned this in my other videos. And it's not a show truck, so I'm not doing anything to it to make it a show truck. It's a work truck, and I want to keep it safe for myself and for civilians, passengers, four-wheelers, and anybody else outside the truck. I want them to be able to see me. I want them to be able to see me, hear me, and know I'm coming. But this one thing that I believe all trucks should come with is hubcaps, hub dressing, whatever we want to call them. I've had them on other trucks, and it's a cheap dressing that makes it look so much better. It'll still look like a work truck. It'll just look better. So I'm going to install those too. I don't have them, but I'm going to get them. And I forget what the heck you call them, but I'm just going to call them hubcaps. All right, so that's pretty much for the rear. Oh, I have to install grate on the frame. I've got some grate on there now, but it's not. I want to cover that whole section of the frame between the battery box and the fifth wheel. Okay, so that's it. And then I don't have to replace the shocks or the brakes or anything back there. That's all been done. All right, so the front half of the frame, first things first, got to get that tank off there. So we got to replace front tank straps, and I have them both. All right. Finish shock replacement, and I have the shocks. Just need to get that shock mount back from my buddy. Then we can button up that driver's side. And I got to buy the U-bolts and that nut. Get the plate back from my buddy. Put it all back together. Put the new shock on it. Before I do that, though, I'm going to paint the frame. First, I got to clean the frame, prep the frame, and then paint the frame. And I am going to do that. So, clean, prep, and paint frame. And I'm going to do that. I have that stuff. I have it. Trying to think what else on that frame. Okay, we got to install Davco fuel filter and oil bypass system. And I have them both. Well, I have the oil bypass. I have a Davco fuel filter, as you know, but it's not the one I want, so I'm going to have to buy another one. Let's see, we got the tank straps. We got the shock replacement finish. We got the clean prep paint frame. Davco fuel filter. Replace the brake chambers. Yep. And I got to buy those. Okay. Also on the back of the frame, it's behind the battery box, so we got to put it on the rear half of the frame. Install new stack mount. Dang it, messed that up. Stack mount. Okay. Install right side tank step. And that's it. Okay, so now we go back to the engine. And the engine it's pretty simple. I've been mulling it over my head for so long. I've got to replace the after I get the cam follower back to where it was, buttoned up tight, no oil leaks, do the overhead, I've got to take off the exhaust manifold. First I got to take off the turbo and all that. Then I got to take off the exhaust manifold, and either we're going to rebuild that or replace it. The intercooler is rusted pretty bad. It ain't leaking, but I'm going to see. I don't know if I want to see about that. That's the passenger side. I also got to change the engine warmer unit, whatever that's called. Them ain't expensive, but I got to change that. Okay, and then moving over back to the driver's side, I gotta put the fuel pump back on. I gotta put the starter back on. I gotta clean everything first. I'm gonna clean the whole engine first. Passenger side's same as the driver's side as far as the frame goes. Clean, prep, paint, replace the shock, replace the U-bolts, replace the nut, get the bolt out of the shock mount. Also on the passenger side, the cab mount on that side needs to be replaced. and I have it. I have the replacement. That's going to be a job. But I watched a guy on YouTube do his. Now his is a Kenworth, completely different monster, but mine will be a lot easier. But watching him do it, gave me ideas of how to support the cab while I take that mount out. Once you take that mount out, there's no support for the cab. So you got to support the cab before you take the mount out. So watching his video gave me some ideas. I got to replace all the belts except for the alternator belt. I've got to. I'm going to replace the air compressor. I just don't trust it, and I'm also going to replace the air water separator. I forget what it ain't called, an air water separator. That's what it is though. Only because it's old. They're cheap, so replace them. I don't want to get this thing say it's on the road or ready to get on the road, and then I get it all tagged and plated and all that, and hook it up, put the name of the company on the side of my truck, and I run the first load, and I got to replace the daggum air compressor or something like that. You know, if it's cheap, the air compressor on that thing was working last I knew, but it looks bad. It looks pretty bad. So I don't want to take a chance. I'm going to replace it. I also got to change the after cooler cover. Now I'm going to attempt to take that one off. But here's the thing. I found 2 after cooler covers for sale, and they're not cheap. I found one through a guy I was going to have rebuild my motor. He's got the after cooler with the cover attached to it for like $200. I'm pretty sure that's what he told me. It's used, but it's in good shape. So I'm thinking about going that route. He said I'm going to have a hell of a time getting that cover off because it's steel bolted into aluminum, and that's never a good thing. So there you go. That's pretty much where we're at. I'm going to do this in sections so I can get one section done. It just feels like you get more done that way. So I've got more stuff to do on the cab than I do anything else. So I'm just going to finish the lights this coming weekend. Hook all the lights up, and then go from there. I also want to get the interior done and just say the cab's completely done, right? And then install the rear mud flaps and mud flap hangers, install the quarter fender mud flaps, get the stack mount for the second stack, exhaust stack, replace the front tank straps, and then just go to town. Start fixing that stuff up. But the sooner I can get the cab done, and then the rear half of the frame, then it'll be looking better, right? It'll look better. It'll give me more motivation. It gives you more motivation to continue. If it doesn't look like you're doing anything because you're doing a little bit here and a little bit there and a little bit up there and a little bit over there, it never looks like you've done anything, really. So I'm going to focus on the cab, getting all the lights done. That's my priority right now. Get them all hooked up, wired up, flip a switch, they all work. Awesome. Get the interior of the cab done, put the dash back together, clean the interior, and call it good, right? Replace the horns. Cab is done. Fix the windshield washer motor, window wiper motor, replace that, and the windshield washer fluid tank motor, replace that, and then the whole cab is done. And then put the quarter fenders on the rear, the mud flaps on the quarter fenders, the rear mud flaps with mud flap hangers, the grate over top of the frame, the second exhaust stack mount, the second step on the passenger side, and it's done. The rear is done. All I got to do then is focus on the frame on the front, paint it, clean it, prep it, paint it, put the shocks on, mount up the Davco fuel filter and the oil bypass system. That's all done. Then I can focus completely on the motor, replacing what needs to be replaced, rebuilt what needs to be rebuilt. My goal is to have this thing on the road or roadworthy before snow falls. before snow falls. I really want to get this done. I want this. I'm sick of driving other people's truck. And with that note, let me show you the truck I'm driving. I am at work right now. I'm not at home. There we go. Let me take a drink. And I will show you the truck I drive as of right now. All right, you ready? Well, first of all, it's a Mack. It's my friend Lewis's truck. He's a good guy. It's a good truck. It's this truck actually weighs less than our company day cabs. It reminds me of my cab over, other than it's got a nose on it, right? But the bunk is right behind the seats. I mean, just like my cab over. Big difference. You got to climb over the doghouse to get in my bed, but in this one you don't. You can't stand up though. You cannot stand up in that truck. Nope. You can stand up as long as you're bent over, but you can't stand straight up. And I'm only 5'8", 5'9" with my boots on. But yeah, that's the truck I drive for work right now. And it's somebody else's truck. I like the guy. The truck's fine. It's got its issues. We're working on that today. But it's somebody else's truck. I want to drive my own truck. So there you go. I hope this was interesting. I hope it was some decent content. I'm bringing you guys along for the ride, all right? This is what the channel's about. It's about my 84 International 9670 cab over, and I'm bringing you for the ride. And this is about teaching y'all what it is, what it's like to own a cab over, or a truck for that matter. And like I've said before, I've watched a lot of YouTube videos about people with cab overs, Kenworths, Peterbilts, and there's even a couple on there with Internationals, but they don't do, I don't know, they just don't do it the way I'm going to do it, okay? They don't, there's a guy on there, I watched him change some things on his motor, but he just skips through it. He doesn't show you the detail, he doesn't, and sometimes it's painstaking for you guys to watch a whole hour of a video, and I'm trying to keep them down to 30 minutes, right around 30 minutes. And I'm trying to learn the technique of dang it, fast-paced, it's not called fast-paced. Anyway, speeding up the camera. So you don't need to see all the details when it's repetition. I've done that on a few videos, taking off that cam follower block, which I should have did, right? So anyway, we're gonna fix that. Anyway, so this is what the channel's about. Come along, learn with me. I'm gonna keep you in the loop and keep you updated. I'm gonna try to post a video every other day. And that's why I'm doing this video now, because it was a short weekend last weekend. Today being the 12th, Monday. I was only home Saturday night and Sunday, and I had to come back here Sunday night, so didn't have time to do anything on the truck, but I did get parts, and I'll show you them next weekend. Also, my wife's car needs some work. Her exhaust is leaking. I got to fix that and change her oil. So, man's job is never done, right, boys? Not leaving you ladies out. I know y'all work hard too. Most of you, some of you. Oh, y'all get to have babies. We don't. Anyway, so that's what it is. We're going to leave that alone, and I think we'll call it a night. Y'all have a good one. Thanks for stopping by, and appreciate you watching the channel. Again, my name is Jason. This is the Sheepdog Logic channel.